Welcome to Bro Football Focus, episode 26, the Saquon Barkley episode. I'm Hunter. With me, as always, is Jake and Austin, except for that one time for both of them.
You're right on that.
Yep.
I like how that's just the running joke now.
Yeah, I can't wait till you do this one. And I'm just going to bring it up like 40 times an episode.
Yeah,
It's more of a walking joke, I think.
the
But
fans love it.
yeah. Austin, you look a little overexposed in the face. What's that?
I think I got this new monitor over here, and it's very bright.
No, it's funny because like your color is always different. Like the background will change to foreground sometimes, and like it'll be different the next time. And like,
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
yeah.
But either way, we're just glad you're here.
I'll just be illuminated.
Saquon Barkley episode 26. Thanks for coming with us along this journey. But you guys want to hop right into the Spicy 16?
Yeah, let's do it. The Giants at Eagles. The Eagles pick up the 22-21 win against the Giants. Both teams clearly aren't good. Both teams have easily collapsible pockets, which for the Eagles lead to poor frantic decision-making by Carson Wentz. Dookie Bowl of the week, Daniel Jones has his meme play that will define him unless he has a superior season in the future.
When you said collapsible pockets, I thought about like when you have a hot pocket and it's too spicy and you like pinch it.
Yeah, it's
Collapse
the
a
exact
little
same
bit.
thing. It's a collapsible pocket.
Yeah, it's not good.
No.
You gotta
not
get
good at
hot
all.
in the middle.
Next up, we got the Steelers and the Titans. The Pittsburgh Steelers narrowly avoided getting a bunch of mayonnaise all over their curtain of steel. Mike Vrabel's tricky play calling couldn't squeak out a win for him this week. The Steelers came out on top 27-24.
The Washington football team smacked up the Cowboys 25-3 and started the Jerry Jones fire sale that included Don Terry Poe, Everson Griffin, and Daryl Worley. And also Scary Terry had a breakout game with 7 catches, 90 yards, and a tutter.
Nice. The Bills beat the Jets 18-10. A bigger blowout was expected from the Bills, especially directly after losing their only 2 losses of the season. The Bills receivers have a hard time getting separation past 15 yards, and especially in the red zone, this has Josh Allen trying to shoehorn passes into tight coverage, which he needs to be a bit more accurate to go deep into the playoffs.
Yikes. I
Jake's
thought
like complete
his
breakdown.
accuracy was improving at the beginning of the year.
Ugh.
But Panthers Saints. The Saints continue to look fine without Michael Thomas. Could the lack of Thomas be making Drew's noodle arm seem serviceable? I don't know, but the Saints came out on top 27-24.
I don't think that fixed anything. But the Packers had a good comeback
Made it
game.
worse, whatever you did.
Improved. Improved. They're still a powerhouse by defeating the Texans 35-20.
The Browns-Bengals game, both Joe Burrow and Baker Mayfield looked really good, but the classic case of a poor supporting cast. The Browns had a lead the entire game, ending in a 37-34 win. OBJ hurt or injured?
Well, that's
Alrighty. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-do. All right, so we got Lions-Falcons. The Falcons still seem to be under some sort of witch's curse after suffering a heartbreaking loss to the Lions 23-22. We'll talk about what happened later. But I just said it. Lions 23, Falcons 22.
good score line. Tom Brady had a real vintage performance, and the Buccaneers looked like they had developed a little bit of chemistry out there as the Buccaneers defeated the Raiders 45-20.
The Chargers break their losing streak with a 39-29 victory against the Jaguars. Jaguars head coach Doug Marrone is pretty pissed and ready to do crazy things to get the team in order. Justin Herbert, again, looks good, but the Chargers need to step up their defense to be a dominant team in LA.
Yeah, they sure do, Jake. We got 49ers Patriots. The 49ers mollywopped the Patriots 33-6. San Fran's offense struggled a little bit. Jimmy G threw 2 interceptions, but their defense kept them on top by snagging 4 interceptions. I believe it was 3 from Cam, 1 from Stidham.
Wow.
Yeah. Cam got benched.
Yikes.
Riding the pine.
Oh.
Yeah. I wasn't even able to watch
Le'Veon
it.
Bell made his Chiefs debut in a real Winter Wonderland classic up in snowy Denver. The Chiefs proved to be the better snow dogs in the 43-16 game. Andy Reid, he just knows how to call them up there in the snow.
Oh, yeah. The Seahawks and Cardinals have maybe the best game of the season. Mobile, gunslinging quarterbacks, risky choices, crucial penalties, overtime, DK Metcalf being an absolute freak of nature, all resulting in the Seahawks' first loss of the season, 34-37.
DK Metcalf being an absolute freak of nature resulted in the Seahawks' first loss of the season?
All of that resulted in it. The Cards fell how they fell.
Interesting. Just weird way to cause and effect right there. But we got Rams-Bears. Jalen Ramsey builds on his resume as the NFL's do-it-all corner by making a crucial third down stop late in this one. Nick Foles looked like a real turd by throwing 2 picks. Rams came out on top 24-10.
Wow.
Nice.
Quite the spicy. 16.
What spice?
It sure was. Austin, what spice do you want to talk more about?
I mean,
Some ground cumin, maybe?
the what?
Ground cumin?
What do you mean by that?
Spice?
Yeah, it's a spice. Making
All right.
jokes.
All right, here we go. I just want to hop right into the Seahawks and the Cardinals game because that one was probably the spiciest matchup of the year thus far.
Yeah. That shit was awesome.
Yeah. What did you think about? I mean, I know Hunter doesn't like the mainstream clips and stuff, but what do you think about DK just hossing down Buda Baker from behind?
Yeah, that shit it didn't even look real, really. And the fact that, to me, and granted there's more that goes into it, but you could probably throw DK Metcalf at like fucking corner or like safety and be good.
Probably not corner, maybe safety.
I could see him at safety, being a real like Cam Chancellor type of guy.
I think his draft knocks about agility and like that stuff, that would be pretty terrible at corner. I think one of the most important things about being a corner is
Well, that's why I said
being able to change.
like a corner or a safety.
Maybe it's
But if you try to run a streak on him, he will chase you down and intercept.
yeah,
it.
after you catch it.
Yeah, it was unreal. That first like 20 yards, and I don't know how who it was because the camera was just going across the field pretty fast. But one of the Cardinals tried like clipping him and just completely fucking whiffed because he was just like right by him. God damn! Like holy shit!
Oh man, they released the mic'd up, and Buda Baker was pretty funny. His reaction.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's like, he caught my ass. He caught my ass. And then like Patrick Peterson, he was saying something to Patrick Peterson about like warn him about DK coming in from behind. But it's like, what's that gonna help you when that guy's running so fast?
I do think it's super impressive because if you watch just the DK cam from start to finish, aren't they on like the 5 or some shit?
Well, they're on the 5. He's in the end zone.
Well, I know, but so if you just watch DK the whole time, like he sees it, immediately keys in and just.
And Russell Wilson like gave up, and DK was still behind Russell, and then he surpassed him, and just absolutely caught him up. Like
DK's big and quick.
Yeah, he's a freak of nature for sure.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
But also, Buda Baker is a badass. Like I saw on the mic'd up before the game, he was smacking his pads. He's like, "Y'all about to meet these?" Like talking to the other team in warm-ups. It's like he's probably a little savage out there.
Yeah, he was active.
Big bucks. But Jake, which one of these looks fun to you?
You know, the Steelers Titans, I tell you what, I just know that there were a lot of cream jeans in Pittsburgh that night.
Oh yeah.
Because to me, it was guaranteed. Like, they're going to walk down. If they don't score, they're definitely making the field goal. And if it comes down to overtime, I think the Titans were going to win because they had the momentum. And yeah, just missed. And the expression on Big Ben's face of just complete disbelief. He's like, "Holy fuck, did he just miss that?" And everyone's like, "I guess we won." And that was just the game. And it was just like, damn. And I mean, the Titans clearly are good.
Yeah.
They're really good. But
And-
so are the Steelers, and that's just how that game fell. And it was, it was funny.
In our fantasy football root meet, just to talk to how or to speak to how close the game was, I prematurely said to Trench that it seems like he got some mayonnaise on his steel curtain.
Oh yeah, that
And
can
then
bite you.
Yeah, I
right
didn't
after
know
it
that,
happened,
but now I do.
I immediately had to say, never mind. But
Yeah.
so I think I may have caused the Steelers to win, but
Yeah.
butterfly effect stuff,
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that was a good game. Steelers are now the only undefeated team. So yeah, and I don't even know their schedule. Honestly, let me look that up real quick.
Yeah, a lot of Yinzers out there got to be happy.
Do you think they all think they're going undefeated?
I mean, yes, I do think they all think they're going undefeated because
They thought they were going undefeated before they knew.
That's the Yinzer mentality.
yeah. What, Jake?
I said they said that
You
they were
broke
going
up a little there,
undefeated
Jake.
since before we
Yeah.
even knew if there was going to be a season or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, if the Steelers were like 3-5 now or whatever, they would still say that they're gonna be going undefeated. Like after this. one.
So this is the Steelers' next few games. This week, Ravens.
Dicey.
Yeah, that's going to be a
But-
fun one.
I will say, good defenses seem to be able to stop Lamar Jackson.
So this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Ravens, close. Then Cowboys, easy win. Bengals, easy win. Jaguars, easy win. Then back to the Ravens again.
The Bengals they'll win it, but it'll be contentious for sure.
You think the Bengals are
You
going to
think-
win?
I said the Steelers will win.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought you meant the Bengals.
Yeah, the way you
Yeah.
worked that was odd.
Just-
But they play the Ravens twice in the same month. On the
I
Yeah.
thought Hunter was saying like Joey Burrow has Big Ben's number or something.
Oh, no.
Like
I just know that all AFC North bouts are contentious.
that's true. They know how
Damn,
to
they
play
have
each
a
other.
pretty fucking easy season. So it's the Ravens twice in November. Then Washington, they'll probably win. Bills will be interesting. Then Bengals win. Colts, probably a win. Browns win. And that's regular season.
So my connection to the ether just went off, and I have a prediction. I think
What?
when the Pittsburgh Steelers, Jake, is the Washington game in Pittsburgh or Washington?
I think this will be at Steelers.
Okay. I think this Washington football team defensive line that we've been hyping up all season, I think they're going to hurt Big Ben.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Chase Young?
I don't think it's
Deron
Chase Young.
Payne.
I don't think it's Deron Payne either.
I
don't
think
even
Deron Payne's gonna put Big Ben in some pain, dude.
I don't think it's Montez Sweat, dude. I think there's a play, second quarter, Jonathan Allen comes in unblocked, just gets a shellacking on Big Ben, and he just hurts himself, can't come in for the rest of the game.
And maybe Deron Payne kind of falls on top and just lays his weight there.
Maybe. My prediction is Jonathan Allen comes in unblocked through the middle, wrecks Big Ben.
I mean, that's a pretty bold prediction. If you could bet on that, I'm sure the odds would be heavily.
Yeah, you could even put like $15 and you'll probably come out around like $400.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm calling second quarter. Big Ben's gonna come back.
If this happens, you're gonna look like a genius.
Yeah.
But if Big Ben stiff arms him and hurts him, then you're gonna look like a big dummy.
See, now, if you were to do that and make a bet that specific and get it right, then people would definitely think you're the dude from Hot Tub Time Machine.
Or the writer of The Simpsons.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's my prediction.
That's pretty spicy.
So, the game that I'd like to touch on, I don't really have anything to say about it because I didn't really watch it. But I was hoping the Jets were going to win, not because I have anything against the Bills or Josh Allen, but because
God.
I want the Jets to get a win on the season.
Well, don't wish against the Bills.
Yeah,
Dude, I was looking at the score in first quarter. They were up like 10-0. And I was like, okay, guys, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Hunter, I don't like you out there hating, dude.
But
That's
so,
bad.
Austin, I'm assuming you watched the game.
Yeah, every
What-
snap.
What happened here? Do you think they were just prepared for the Jets and they got a feisty Sam Darnold? I saw he was slinging some good ones.
I don't think Sam Darnold really did that much, honestly, outside the first
slung
half.
A good one.
Look at his second half stats. He's like 2 for 16, like 38 yards.
Doesn't matter.
But-
He's slinging.
But, dude,
doesn't matter.
I'm going to tell you, in the AFC East, like the bottom of the barrel teams outside of the Patriots, like we've just been competing for second place for the past like 20 years, and we know how to play each other. The Dolphins and the Jets and the Bills, we're always like 1-1. Like we rarely are just 2-0 smacking the other team. So like I knew a close one was coming, and they almost beat us the first game of the season. Honestly, besides like Josh Allen pulling out some real like heroics, but yeah, dude, if our rookie kicker didn't nail like 7 out of those 8 field goals or whatever, this one would have been a real shitty game.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I was saying in the little breakdown, it just seems like the receivers can't get enough separation past like 15
For the
20
Bills?
yards.
Yeah, I think we're missing.
Out routes, like, those are pretty successful, like those big crossing routes, but like I seem like, especially obviously when it comes red zone, there's not as much room, but like it doesn't seem like there's that lateral like disconnect to give Josh Allen enough room that he's not fucking trying to laser that shit in, which I mean, like I'm like he's taking the shots, which like is part of it, but like they're just like a little bit off.
I will say, and I've been saying this for a little bit now, I think our receivers kind of lack physicality because when you have like Stephon Diggs, as good as he is, he's probably less than 200 pounds. He's probably $190 or something. Like he's very small. And John Smokey Brown, also very small, probably $180. And the Jets are like pressing them up. Like, yeah, they can't get released off of those guys. And then you got Cole Beasley in the slot. He's even way smaller than those guys. So if you press them, the Bills' line's not that good. Like you'll get a sack before anyone gets open. But we got that rookie Gabe Davis, our fourth receiver. He's like 6'2", 6'3", and he's very physical. I think he could be a little X factor in there.
X Factor, Gabe Dave, the X Factor.
I mean, regardless, you got the win, and that's what's important right now.
Yeah, I'm nervous about this upcoming game in New England because it's like the first time where we can kind of take the throne, Yeah,
and I mean, like,
become kings of the division.
At this point, I'm just hoping for playoffs.
Oh yeah, but the rumor is that the Patriots want to trade Stephon Gilmore, but Bill Belichick denied it. But he's always denying everything.
Well, yeah,
but
he's the man.
Stephon Gilmore's house went up for sale, and the deadline to get the bid in is the trade deadline. So it's like,
oh wow,
come on now. I think they're gonna tank. I think the Patriots
just try and get a good draft pick. Like fuck it.
No.
Yeah.
See, I just don't. I feel like everyone. I feel like Cam taking that game off because of the Rona just killed the momentum of the whole team.
It did seem like that was a turning point.
It looks like Julian Edelman's fucking just tired of it. Like nothing.
Julian Edelman looks like he doesn't want to play football anymore.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, it looks like he's just fucking done with it because now, you got these other quarterbacks going in. It's a completely different game. without Tom Brady, and then Cam goes out. He's out for a week, which stops his momentum. Then he comes back. The line doesn't really do that good. Takes another loss. Then this past week's loss. And it's just like, what the fuck is going on? I think the Patriots really need, like, a game-breaker running back. Like, there's no real threat when it comes to the running backs. Like,
Jake, running backs are not important in today's NFL.
well, that's just not true.
Yes,
Like,
it is.
if you have a good running back, you can create these drives, and you can string these drives together.
What about Derrick Henry, Hunter? His whole offense revolves around him.
Well, Derrick Henry is a very specific example of a freak human being who doesn't resemble any other
A
people
game breaker running
If
back.
the Patriots had him, they'd be good.
Or
Dude.
like if they had a Saquon or if they had a Christian McCaffrey, like
No, I feel like
Yeah.
Saquon wouldn't be shit behind that line, dude.
Yeah, so Jake, check this out. Saquon, when he was healthy on the Giants, were they winning? No. Christian McCaffrey, when he was healthy and playing on the Panthers, were they winning? No. Running backs aren't important.
all right.
Yeah, Jake. So sorry with your dumbass running
Yeah,
back
And
theory.
so the Patriots do have serviceable options, dude. They have Sony Michel, who's not bad. He's medium at everything.
Yeah.
You got Rex Burkhead, who's
He's good.
really good at 2 games a season. And then
And he's white, and he's just a prototypical Patriot, hardworking guy who catches
Yeah, I
passes.
don't have anything against them, but it's not like on a third down, I'm not expecting some big breakaway run from either of them.
I think the major issue with the Patriots currently is possibly all the stars being gone on defense, and 2, Cam throwing silly interceptions that don't need to happen.
Yeah, I agree with you with the stars being gone, but I'd also like to say their receivers are trash, and there's a reason Tom Brady wanted Antonio Brown in there.
Yeah.
And went and then formed the super team with all these weapons. Because, N'Keal Harry is a big old bust, dude. I don't care what people say. He's so slow. How do you draft that guy over DK Metcalf? How do you draft – and then – oh, man. Someone needs to say something about Belichick's drafting, too, the past couple years, honestly, because he drafted Sony Michel 1 pick before Lamar Jackson. And there's just so many other instances where he didn't take a chance on DK or any of these people.
So Bill Belichick losing it, maybe.
At least draft wise.
Interesting.
Soon you're going to see Bill Belichick painting the lines in the parking lot of the Patriots Stadium.
I think he's so deep into scouting that he takes guys from he took Kyle Duggar from Division II. There's a way higher chance of them busting.
Austin, who was the guy who only Bill Belichick went to his practice and he was out there in the rain?
Yeah,
that guy was
that
good.
Linebacker from Middle Tennessee or something. And he's the only fucking guy looking at him.
Yeah.
But I think he reaches for diamonds in the rough way too hard and he misses on the obvious picks sometimes.
Listen, same thing about my bold prediction. If I get it, I'm a genius. If I don't, it's just another miss,
Yeah.
But he's missing a lot lately, dude. I just want to say that.
He's missing a lot.
But yeah, the defense, their main thing was lockdown corners and cheap pass rush. But then once Kyle Van Noy and Jamie Collins and Dante Hightower opted out, but Jamie Collins and Kyle Van Noy were the edge guys, getting the pressure.
Yeah.
And then they just had to go to richer places, get those big deals.
Yeah, I don't know. We might be seeing the decline of a dynasty. Who knows?
Yeah, and I will say that since the Patriots are losing, no one really cares that you're a Patriots fan anymore. Because when they were winning,
I don't think anyone's ever really cared, except for in a negative fashion.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So when it was Tom Brady and winning, you even mentioned liking the Patriots even the slightest bit. They're fuck the Patriots, blah blah blah. But now I literally wear Patriots jersey over to the football game with all my neighbors, and they just don't even blink an eye. I'm yeah, because they're not winning right now.
First
That's interesting.
Of all, it's a jersey.
that is a key clarification.
Yeah.
Second of all, yeah, there's nothing to be mad about when they're not beating people's teams.
Yeah. I wonder, like, in Buffalo or, like, in, like, hardcore New York Jets fans, like, I wonder if they still are fucking just, like, I remember when I went to a Bills game with Timmy and he's just fucking chirping the other fans. Like, I wonder if they're still doing that to the Patriots fans. I think they still are, dude.
Probably. I mean, that's just the culture.
Yeah, I think if you go into what was formerly known as the Ralph and you're not a Bills fan, you're probably going to get chirped.
Like, I don't ever feel like malicious towards any other team, but when I went to a couple Patriots games and you just feel the energy of the Ralph, everyone's drunk and they're throwing shit like beer bottles at the Patriots bus. You
I don't
get like pissed off at the Patriots, dude.
Dude,
And it juices you up.
people were getting a little malicious towards Huffy and I when Jake was throwing up in his mask and we were saying Duval really loud.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well, and it
god.
was funny because Casey was carrying his case of beer out in front of the stadium, and it broke, and beer just spilled everywhere, and everyone just pointed and laughed at him because he was wearing a Jaguars
Oh.
jersey. It was really funny.
Dang. dude.
That was like one of my last memories before like just profusely throwing up. Fun.
Yeah, that was gross.
It was a good time.
But I want to move on to something. Do you guys think that the Jets have a winnable game on the schedule left? I didn't until Huffy sent me this thing that Sam Darnold said. So this is Sam Darnold's quote on the possibility of the Jets drafting Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
I have social media. I've seen some of the things. We got a game to win this week. That's all we're worried about.
Sam Darnold.
He's read some things. He's seen some stuff. So he's
Now
ready.
that I read it out loud, didn't sound that fiery at all.
No. Yeah. It literally sounded like, I know what everyone's saying, but we still have a game today. So that's what's important. Not everyone's tweets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with that quote, they're fucking winning out for the rest of the season.
I don't know. I just looked at the schedule and they play the Chiefs,
Nice.
the Patriots, Chargers, Dolphins, Raiders, Seahawks, Rams, Browns, Patriots.
So they have the Patriots twice.
It might happen.
No, listen, Adam Gase versus Bill Belichick. I don't care what your rosters are composed of. Bill Belichick is winning that game 100% of
Listen,
the time.
What?
Actually, that's not true because 2017, Adam Gase had that crazy when Gronk was at safety. Maybe Adam Gase is the fucking guy to beat Belichick twice.
If Adam Gase can
Oh, no, dude.
give the Jags Trevor Lawrence, I would be so happy.
Jesus. Oh, dude, I pray to God because I don't want Trevor Lawrence on the Jets.
Well, so here's the thing. Quickly to touch on the Jags. If they don't get Trevor Lawrence this year, it's going to be like 10 more years of mediocrity and not mattering.
Yeah, for
Because
sure. 100%.
There's
It
just
might have like a 9-6 record or whatever, 9-5,
sure.
whatever.
But just the state of the team right now, I think unless you get that guy to build around, there's nothing to build around. You're just putting like pieces there that aren't doing anything. They're not clicking together. The gears aren't interlocking, you know?
Yeah. Like that offense is kind of already set up for a franchise quarterback to just kind of plop in there.
Kind of, yeah. If you could get a
But-
guy who could hit open dudes.
Yeah, like you can't like just pick some guy to free agency and do good. Like you need the guy to
That's
come
what
in
I'm
there with DJ Chark and all those receivers.
So, yeah, I just
Young
think
Robinson.
basically if the Jags don't get Trevor Lawrence, even if they get like a Justin Fields, I
Not
think
enough
it's
Star
10
power.
years of mediocrity.
But what are their chances of getting the number one?
I mean, pretty high. I definitely see the Falcons winning more than one game the rest of the year.
Yeah,
I understand that they're cursed, but I can see them winning at least 2 games. The Jags' schedule from here on out is pretty nasty. We looked at it last week or
yeah.
a week before. I don't think they win another game. And I don't know the other 1-6 teams But besides the Jets, I think it's a relative possibility. I think right now the Jags sit at pick 3.
Oh, my. Yeah.
Which
I mean,
Buffy's been telling me for weeks they're going to get
So who
like
do you
pick
think-
4, and that would just suck so bad.
So who do you think they're going to pick at 2 or 3 or 4 if they get it?
Trey Lance.
At 2, 3, and 4?
If they have picks 2, 3, and 4, I hope they would pick Justin Fields, Panini Sewell, and Jamar Chase.
Okay.
in that order.
Yes. The order doesn't matter.
Man, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think any of those guys really do it. I don't think any of those guys change the franchise.
No, I don't either. But that's why I'm saying it doesn't matter. Like, I honestly think if the Jags had the second overall pick, I think they should do an RG3 style trade to get Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, you think the Jets would take that?
No, that's the issue.
Oh,
I don't
you're saying
I
you're
don't
saying
think
if
it's
anyone
possible.
else gets it.
Yeah, because if the Jets have it, I can't see them not taking Trevor. There's
Yeah.
no way that they would be like, yeah, we're going to ride with Sam Darnold when the dude who allegedly, like no one's trading out of that pick,
No.
you know? Even if you had, like, let's say somehow the Seahawks had that pick, why would they not take Trevor Lawrence and have Trevor Lawrence sit behind Russell Wilson for like 3 years if he's supposed to be the best quarterback ever scouted?
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with you, dude. It's just going to be why did the Jags win those 2 games to begin with?
They only won 1 game, and I think it was an accident.
What do you mean they only won? They only have 1 win?
Yeah,
Oh, I
week
thought they were.
1.
Oh, okay.
Week 1 against the Colts, I think they accidentally beat Phillip Rivers.
So, yeah, they could get the number 1, dude, very realistically.
The Jets have to win at least 1 game.
And
That's the
Darnold's
only
gunning
thing.
for it now. So,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
When people say Trevor Lawrence should stay away from the Jets, what does that even like? I get it. Like, I wouldn't want to play for the Jets either, but it's not like he can do anything as a player.
Yeah, you can.
it's been done before.
Really?
Yeah, John Elway
Eli
was drafted
Manning.
to the Char.
Who are you saying, Hunter?
John
John Elway?
Elway.
Yeah, I'll give it a goog.
Elway was drafted somewhere and said, "No, I'm not going to play for you." And then they had to do some kind of crazy trade. And then also Eli Manning was drafted by the Chargers, I think.
Okay, so
And he said no way because Archie Manning wasn't going to let Eli and Peyton be in the same division.
Elway was selected as the first overall pick by the Baltimore Colts in the
Colts.
1983 draft. He was wary of playing for the Colts, among the worst teams in the league at the time, and his father advised him against playing for head coach Frank Kush, who had a reputation as a harsh taskmaker.
Doesn't sound like a guy with the last name Kush.
Now,
Yeah, dude.
so say I'm, a talent level of Trevor Lawrence. Why wouldn't I just be like, nah, I'm not playing for any of you bottom 3 teams. So, like, fuck off.
Elway threatened to join the Yankees if the Colts didn't trade him.
Yeah, because Jake, I think there's a big drop-off between the other bad teams and the Jets. Like, the Jags...
I'm saying hypothetically. Like, if
Yeah,
I
I'm
want to play for the bottom 5, so I get on a relatively good team.
Because that's just not... Like, people don't do that. It's like a one-team thing that you're like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, the Jets, they have a legitimate chance. If Adam Gase is the coach, he has a legitimate track record of making players worse.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't remember where I saw it, but, like, he had, like, no, like, the worst, it was, like, 31st, 32nd, 32nd, like, has been I don't even understand how he's still even a coach.
yeah, exactly. Well, it's because of Peyton Manning.
Yeah. He was in 2015, was it? Peyton Manning was the quarterback for the Broncos. Gase was the coordinator. So Gase got a lot of credit for that 55 touchdown season or whatever that broke the record for.
Well,
I
also,
think he's a passing genius and all this
no,
shit.
I don't even think it's just the numbers. I'm pretty sure Peyton Manning was like in wherever he got his first head coaching job, he was in that owner's ear and he was like, yo, Adam Gase is like, he's the real deal. You should hire him.
Yeah, I heard that.
Interesting.
But yeah, back to the whole draft thing. Like the Jets, that's just a legitimate chance that you're not gonna have a good career. Like someone like the Jags, there's a little bit of a team there, kind of. The Falcons, who are also 1-6, let's say they were 2 and the Jets were 1, he could definitely be like, no, I'm not playing for the Jets, and then the Falcons get him at 2 because like that's Trevor Lawrence's dream, going to the fucking Falcons.
Playing with Julio for like the twilight of his career. Calvin Ridley.
For a year, Calvin Ridley, who's stepping into elite status.
So I looked it up, and according to ESPN, the Giants have a 27.8% chance, the Jets have a 27.8% chance, and the Jaguars have an 8.2% chance of getting the first pick.
So I think if the Giants had it, they are probably one of the only teams that would trade out of it because I don't think they would be willing to give up on Danny Dimes.
I would like to think that, but I don't know. I feel like they feel the same way about Danny Dimes as the Jets do about Darnold almost.
No. I feel like it's different.
I think it's the same type of deal going on, though, with the lack of supporting cast and just both of them getting kind of...
I don't know, dude. I feel like Darnold is a lot closer to a Rosen situation, and Daniel Jones is like...
Daniel Dimes.
Daniel Dimes. He has potential.
I will say,
I think Sam Darnold has potential too.
I hear the potential hype and everything from the Jets fans about Darnold, and like a bunch of people say he has crazy potential. But whenever I watch him play, I never really see anything like I see some good throws, but I never see anything that's like when I see Joe Burrow play, I see like a fucking guy who'll be around for 10 years.
I just don't think you can trust USC quarterbacks.
I always have thought that, dude. Like Matt Leinart, fucking who's that? Yeah, Matt Barkley. Like, dude, USC, not a good look.
Yeah.
But yeah, Danny Dimes, I can't believe he ran as fast as he did on that 80-yard run.
And fell.
Like,
come on.
He was running so fast.
Yeah, I don't think if I hit top speed,
this isn't
like Jake, you think you could maintain top speed like that, dude? Like 22 miles per hour?
See, my top speed?
He was running fast as Tyreek Hill. He's not built like him, dude. He can't just keep running like that.
I don't care. If you're going to run, stay up, dog.
The way he was accelerating, his legs were about to fall off, dude.
But not even 20 yards. Like, come on.
All right, so Daniel Jones, I got to look up what his 40 time is because I bet it's not that impressive.
Oh, I'm sure.
4.82 from the Duke Blue Devil.
Wow.
So Danny Dimes ran a 4.82, and he's just hauling ass like that down the field?
Yeah, the adrenaline pumping.
Oh,
he got speed wobbles. It's like, oh.
He ran 21.23 miles per hour.
That's almost as fast as DK was running.
Yeah, it might be faster.
No, 'cause I'm pretty sure his was like 22 something.
All right, so 21.23. Let's look it up. DK Metcalf. Oh my God, 22.64.
Yeah.
Damn, he would have even caught Danny Dimes from behind.
Exactly. Well, especially because he fell down.
Yeah.
Now that was really embarrassing. I was like, wow. And that could make a new you let the whole team down moments.
Yeah.
Like,
didn't they score?
But still, that's a
I
moment.
don't think that lets the team down at all. Like that's saying if a running back pops off for like an 80-yard run and doesn't score, they let the team down. They scored right after. I don't think he let the team down at all.
Have you ever seen Friday Night Lights, the movie?
No,
Oh, you haven't?
no.
Oh, on the last play
Well,
Run.
that's the last play. This
Down-
was in like the second quarter.
to the 1 yard line and they don't win. And
No,
the crazy Super Haas team wins.
Well, so let me pose this question: who do you guys think would win in a 100-yard dash between DK and Tyreek Hill?
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I think Tyreek, but maybe if you stack them up, like the fastest that they're running mid-game with the adrenaline and the game on the line,
Yeah.
maybe DK.
And so you think it's like a hustle thing with DK, like when the lights are on and Russell Wilson needs him to chase that guy down and get that fucking tackle?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
gets like an extra 2 miles per hour.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at Danny Dimes. Like, his 40 didn't reflect fucking that speed, but just the
Yeah.
adrenaline of the dogs chasing you, you know?
Yeah. Maybe he had like a cat running away from the junkyard dog type of reflex.
Yeah.
And he just had to get away.
Maybe he saw the cat that runs around the stadium and he was like, oh my God, there he is. Let's get him. Like, and just ran after him.
Yeah. I really do think he outran his like hip mobility. Like he
Yeah.
had more speed than his body was used
It
to.
definitely looked like he like blew a spring or some shit like that. Because he was just running and then there was a visible like, oh. And then he like that gave him the wobbles and was like, oh, and then just
Right.
fell.
Honestly, I'm not even laughing at it because it was a sick ass run, dude.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I had
No.
a problem with Jake saying he let the team down. I
I mean,
completely disagree.
Clearly, it was still a good play that put them in good position. But I was just like, you let yourself down. You got to score.
It was anticlimactic, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. But either way, do you guys know who else has a dog mentality and runs around like a little cat out there?
who?
It's Antonio Brown.
Oh,
Just signed a deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Um,
Adding more people to the team.
yeah, the rich
Well,
get richer.
Money do these fucks have left? Like,
I'm sure he didn't sign a very expensive deal.
I think it was $2 million.
Yeah, that's a bargain.
they're
But
literally
Jake,
they're like, we just want one Super Bowl and then y'all can fucking leave. We just want one.
Pretty
rumor-
much.
So if Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl in his home stadium, I definitely think he think he retires. Like,
Yeah.
that's I don't know how you don't go out like that. But rumor has it, AB isn't even like gonna play a lot. He's just an insurance policy for the often injured this season, Chris Godwin.
Yeah, I heard that as well. But I will say Chris Godwin broke his damn finger. In that,
They also said that he'll be back in like 2 weeks.
yeah, but so AB now gets a chance in there. So what if he starts producing a lot? Because I think Tom Brady's definitely going to throw him the ball.
I think the week that Godwin will be coming back is the week that he can play.
Do you think it's more of like a Bruce Arians thing that, or you're saying he won't be able to play till Godwin comes back?
I think so, yeah. Because, he comes back week 9.
Oh, he's still not reinstated all the way?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
So he's
But,
not even going to miss that. He's going to miss the opportunity there.
Yeah. No, but I think it's a hot deal. Like, obviously, if Antonio Brown sees the field, he's going to do good. He played one game with Tom Brady last year, and he got a touchdown. Had a good game. So
Yeah.
I definitely think that Antonio's been staying in shape, and he's probably – I don't want to say just as good as he ever was, but he's definitely still going to be upper echelon.
Do you guys think Tom has kind of taken the reins from Bruce Arians?
Yeah, especially because Bruce Arians said that he wouldn't sign Antonio Brown. And then Tom Brady's just like, hey, can you sign Antonio Brown?
That's
And then they
exactly what I'm
do.
thinking. And at the same time, Bruce Arians had that quote that, like, we're not going to throw the tight ends. Like, we're going to throw, like, we got wide receivers. All of a sudden, Tom is just, like, audibling Gronk on these crazy routes and throwing touchdowns to him.
I feel like that could have been a little bit of a smokescreen. Like, no, we're never going to throw to Gronk. And just start throwing to Gronk.
Yeah, stop covering that guy so much. We're not going to
But
throw to him.
I do definitely think where you're seeing like Tom Brady screaming at dudes on the sideline, like trying to get people in line and stuff. Like, definitely think it's Tom's team, not Bruce's team.
Yeah.
City's called fucking Tampa Bay, for God's sakes.
Tampa Gronk.
It's not called Bruce Bay.
Bruce Arians has this weird personality about him, though, where he has to be like the sheriff. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
It seems like it would be conflicting, but it's not really.
take a
like
back seat, win a Super Bowl. You still get to wear your beret. Like, it doesn't matter.
I'll see how it works out if it gets to like the playoffs and there has to be like a big critical call, like 4th down maybe. Like, is Tom going to make that call or is Bruce going to be the one fucking making the play call?
Who knows?
There might be some beef.
What if Bruce makes the call? Tom goes up there, doesn't like the look, has to audible out of it, does something crazy, completes it, completely dethrones Bruce.
Oh, man.
Like, I told you.
Yeah. No, that would be crazy.
This is my team. Tom Brady pulls a Belichick, but as a player, and is the quarterback and the coach next year.
Might as well just throw him at GM too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy fuck.
But yeah, so that's the Jake. Do you think anything about AB on the Bucks?
I mean, if he's able to make it to week 9 without no hiccups or, snags in the system, I'm sure he'll do fine. He's a pretty good athlete. And, I think it's just his non-player kerfuffles that he gets in, to say the least.
Yeah, off the field issues.
Yeah.
I just hope he stays away from the cryo treatments.
Why?
Because when he was signed to the Buccaneers last year, he missed like 3 weeks of practice because he stayed in one of those cryo tubes too long and froze his feet off.
Yeah, you have to wear the special socks.
Yeah, I guess he didn't. And he was like, yeah, man, my feet's peeling off.
What do you guys feel about this quote from Jerry Jones on Don Terry Poe? He says he was 30 pounds overweight and wasn't doing anything about it on this big hoss that he cut.
I mean, what's wrong with that?
There's also some controversy about if Jerry Jones cut him because he was the only cowboy that knelt.
Yikes.
And I think that might have been it, honestly.
Isn't Don Terry Poe like the heaviest NFL player to catch a touchdown?
I believe so.
Wow.
They put, or maybe throw a touchdown because I think they put him in at fullback and then he did like a jump pass.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But now he's even heavier, apparently. 30 pounds overweight.
Damn.
Which you'd think you'd want
Funny
your
because he's like, yeah, he's 30 pounds overweight. He's probably like fucking 390.
Yeah.
30 pounds is the number? Like, really?
I could definitely see the kneeling thing being a thing, though, because, like, I'm pretty sure the Cowboys before the season were, like, trying to get it cleared to, like, not have victims' names on their jerseys and helmets, but having, like, police officers' names on their helmets.
Yeah.
And the NFL was like, no, you can't do that. But I could definitely see the NFL being like, oh, yeah, we're about social justice now. Guys, do what you need to do. And then Jerry Jones just like, yeah, you can kneel.
First guy who does it, out of town.
Yeah.
Like, hey, fat ass, you're done. You fucking fat.
But,
He's not doing anything about it. Losing all that weight.
nothing against Jerry Jones, but I definitely think he has an old world mind.
Well, he is old.
Yeah. It's part of why I think that.
And he's probably worn a 10-gallon hat for the last 50 years.
Yeah. Do you like Stephen Jones, Jake?
Couldn't tell you.
Oh,
I like Indiana Jones.
me too. Dude, what's his grandson's name? It's not Donovan Peoples-Jones.
I like that name.
That's a real person.
Yeah, I know. But I like that name.
His name is John Stephen Jones.
John Stevens.
Apparently, he's going to be, like, lit when he comes
John
out.
Steve.
Yeah. Apparently, him and, like, one of Deion Sanders' kids are going to be good QBs.
Speaking of good QBs, apparently Dwayne Haskins said that he would welcome a new start if Washington were to trade him. Do you think he might be on the move here as well?
I don't know, because for one, like, what do you? Okay, what'd they get for Sam Darnold? Like a 5?
For Sam Darnold?
Not Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen.
For Josh Rosen?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
because that's like a
Initially,
similar situation. Like, dude's not playing a lot. When he did play, he was shitty.
yeah.
Dwayne
So let's
Haskins
see.
isn't mobile.
The Cardinals traded Rosen to the Dolphins for the number 62 overall pick. So that'd be second round, late second round.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. See, I just feel like a second for Dwayne Haskins is a lot.
Yeah, especially like given the richness of the quarterback position in the league right now.
Yeah. So
Like
no,
I feel like I'd rather have Winston.
yeah, I feel like that's definitely tough. That's still a huge thing. Like, when are we going to see good eyes Jameis?
Yeah, you got that surgery for nothing.
Yeah, hopefully not. But you guys want to talk about these rookies?
Yeah, I think they're mostly doing pretty good. Like the
Well,
names
Jacob,
that wanted to do good.
who do you think is making the most impact? Let's all do one of these. You know what I mean? Like you each
Okay.
get 3.
Okay.
So,
For-
so
we
what
get 3
you do
rookies.
an impact, a disappointment, and an upset?
Yeah.
Even though disappointments are kind of the same as an upset.
I figured upset you meant like somebody who wasn't supposed to be good but is.
Oh no, I meant like reverse, like disappointment. Like people are upset about how they're playing. But either way, I think honestly, who's having the most impact? I'd probably say probably Justin Herbert. Honestly,
Yeah, that's a good one.
See, I would put Justin Herbert as the upset. I would put Joe Burrow as the biggest impact.
now see, and I would think that as well because they are scoring points and he is looking good, but they're still not winning. I
They're
think
not.
once they can start winning, then you can like make that claim.
I don't know though, because with Joe Burrow, like nobody in the right mind would call him a bust. Like he's putting up,
No. He's doing really, really good.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like he's still putting up great numbers and stuff. They're
Yeah,
just not winning because the whole team around him is shitty.
yeah, no, definitely. But
Um,
Right, so Joe Burrow, also the Bengals just signed Quentin Spain. The Bills, for some reason, cut Quentin Spain out of nowhere. He didn't allow a sack last season. And I think with the Titans, he didn't allow a sack. So he's just like a phenomenal pass blocker. So now Joe Burrow, he'll have a little more protection.
that's good.
So I think he'll be even on the upswing even more.
Yeah, I mean, I
As he
want him to be good. I definitely want him to be
Because
good.
they got good weapons, honestly. Like, they got Tyler Boyd, and they have, I guess, John Ross doesn't really play that good.
John Ross just said he'd welcome a new start somewhere else, didn't he?
Yeah. But AJ Green, he's kind of older, but he has been playing better the past couple weeks. Joe Mixon, but he's hurt. Giovanni Bernard stepped in.
Who's the offensive lineman who's like greatly struggling? Is it Andrew Thomas? One of the linemen who was drafted super early isn't doing very good. Also, Isaiah Simmons isn't doing very good, and I just
He
think
just
that's
got that
because
pick, though.
well, one pick, but I just think they don't know where to play him. I think he can't really like settle in and learn something.
Yeah, it's Andrew Thomas on the Giants who's playing really bad right now.
Yeah. So, and he was the first offensive lineman taken, and he's playing like shit.
Yeah.
I also think Kenneth Murray is not playing very well. And obviously, I think Justin Jefferson is a big upset because he was like the 4th or 5th wide receiver off the board, and he is like PFF's best rated player this year.
Yeah, I mean,
Jeff Okuda, also big disappointment.
Jeff Okuda. Do you think that's more of the scheme he's in just being kind of difficult on him as like a
No,
rookie? They're making him like one-on-one a lot.
I think corner in general is one of the tougher positions for like rookies adjusting to in the NFL.
Yeah,
Um,
seems like there's more busts there than anywhere else.
yeah, but when you are the number 3 overall pick, like Jalen Ramsey, I think was the number 5 overall pick, and he stepped in and immediately became like a top 5 corner in the NFL, like
Yeah,
as a rookie. And I know that's Jalen Ramsey. That's like a generational talent at cornerback. But when you're drafted, top 3, even top 5, I think you are expected to come in and start well.
yeah,
So definitely
yeah,
think
for sure.
disappointment.
I wouldn't be surprised if Tua doesn't do as great as everybody expects him to do.
Me
Yeah,
too.
I
I
wouldn't.
really, I hope it doesn't happen, but I could definitely see, and I think I said it last podcast,
I just
but
had
someone coming in, smacking his hip up, and he gets injured, and then Fitzmagic's just like,
Man, I still feel bad for Fitz.
yeah,
But
he got cucked really hard.
yeah, I think that's probably like a big morale loss for the Dolphins.
Yeah, it's not a good time of the season to be having a morale loss.
But another rookie that's playing really good, I think, is Antoine Winfield Sr. Like, I think I heard Aaron Rodgers was like so impressed by him, and I guess he went up and talked to him because he played against his dad like way back in the day. So, and Antoine Winfield, like I think he's had a couple sacks. He's had like some forced fumbles, maybe. Like I've seen him make some big plays, and he just kind of stands out to me.
Yeah. T. Higgins is playing well for
Yeah.
where he was drafted amongst the wide receivers.
I forgot about him too. He looked good. He's looked good recently. Like him and AJ Green are coming at the same time.
Yeah. Obviously Chase Claypool, but I
Oh.
think that's more of any wide receiver can kind of flourish in Pittsburgh.
What about James Robinson?
I mean, James Robinson, I think, might be the most surprising rookie of the year because he was undrafted, and he looks like a combination of Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders every game.
Now, this may be like an hater type opinion from me, but I think he might be like having an Alfred Morris season,
Why do you say that?
and he's just gonna fall off after this.
I don't think so at all because the Jags are playing a lot from behind, and he's still putting up good numbers. Like, I've watched every single Jaguars game, and James Robinson going from Leonard Fournette to James Robinson is such a stark contrast, and I think Leonard Fournette is way more physically gifted. But like Leonard Fournette could see a giant hole in front of him, and he would just run into dudes and like try and truck them over. Like James Robinson, he sees a hole, he hits the hole, and I would honestly say 8 times out of 10 he makes the first guy miss, and he churns out like 4 to 6 yards every time. So I think James Robinson is one of the not too many bright spots on the team, and I think he's a good running back.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen on the Jags, every time I watch him play, it is pretty impressive how he always gets positive yards and kind of just like sneaks forward and like falls forward, gets like 3-4 extra.
And obviously I'm a fan, but I also think I'm a realistic fan of the Jaguars, and I am pretty harsh on them sometimes.
Yeah.
And I definitely don't think I'm just gassing him up, and I think he's actually good.
Yeah, I think he's good, but I could definitely see it being like an Alfred Morris thing. There's just something about it.
I hope not. I mean,
Or like a Doug Martin type of thing, dude. Like those guys looked invincible for a year and then just fell off.
I think anybody on the Jags could do that, where they could look good for a little bit and then just be shit.
I don't want it to be though, dude, because I do like him. I like his running style.
I do too, and he seems like a cool guy.
Another guy playing pretty good, Jedrick Wills, that tackle from Alabama the Browns took.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I haven't watched too much of the Browns, but from what I've seen, every time I watch them, they start talking about their offensive line and they show like the intricacies of what they're doing, and it's honestly pretty impressive. And like Wills and Teller and all those guys, like they're a lot of underrated guys, like really playing well. So I think, I don't know, man, that AFC North is just a bunch of teams stockpiling hosses in the trenches.
Yeah. Before we move on to the whoopsie, Jake, I didn't hear a disappointment from you. Did I?
This is a slight disappointment. I just thought Jerry Jeudy was going to be a bigger impact. He's not doing bad. He's not doing great. But, their whole quarterback situation has been in a flux. And
yeah, I definitely think that's more of a quarterback situation than Jerry Jeudy situation.
Yeah, exactly. But they're still trying to figure it out. But yeah, I really thought he was going to be like a game breaker.
Yeah. I mean, he probably is if you can get him the ball.
Yeah.
But before we start the whoopsie, I have to pee.
Okay.
But there's at least one more we should mention.
We have moved on.
Do that one more, the one who needs it.
I'm just saying, like, Brandon Ayuk, I feel like is used so interestingly in that San Francisco offense is so tough at the physical or at the like special positions. Like George Kittle is, for a tiny tight end, like smaller than like Gronk and some of these big guys, like he blocks the shit out of people and is like, when he gets the ball, he's so violent. People hate tackling George Kittle. And then they run like end arounds with Ayuk, and he's a tough runner too. And they got 3-4 running backs that are sick. Like,
yeah, dude, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard,
Yeah. But, I guess that's the only one. What about Caleb Von Chason, dude? Is he doing any good?
No.
I just wanted a quick update on him.
Yeah, he would be on my big disappointment list.
Wasn't I could be wrong with the draft class, but Hunter, weren't you excited about Laviska? Is he a rookie?
Laviska's really good. He's just nobody there to throw to him.
Like, you should use him more like Ayuk and just end around him, because they did that a couple times. He looked good.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's been getting tackled real early on a lot of the plays where they try and run him, but anytime he catches the ball, he always gets a bunch of rack, and it's not like uncontested rack. It's like there's two dudes on him. He pushes one off and powers through the other guy. So I'm definitely super excited about him, and I think him, Shark, and Keelan Cole could be a decent 3 for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
But
no, for sure.
Yeah.
Man.
So Laviska's good. Definitely not a disappointment. Definitely happy with him. Definitely don't like Caleb on Chason, that's for sure. He just gets bullied.
Well, I'm glad I brought him up because I forgot all about him, honestly.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to. But speaking of whoopsie-like performances, let's get into the whoopsie of the week. This week, we touched on it a little bit earlier. The Falcons, in their cursed nature, they were behind, correct?
Yeah, they were behind, but not by too much now.
Yeah, so Falcons are behind. They have a pretty clear shot to the end zone, and even beforehand, Matt Ryan looks at Todd Gurley and he said, "Yo, dog, don't score," because they need to get to the 1, run the clock a little, and then they can score.
Yep.
Todd Gurley breaks a tackle at like the 4, sees the end zone, instinct kicks in. You see him as soon as he gets to the 2.5. He's like, "Oh no!" And then he just rolls right in and gives Matt Stafford enough time to come back, sling it, win the game.
Yeah, so the Falcons trailed 16-14 with just over a minute left. So
So at the end of the day, you can still kick the field goal and get out of there.
Yeah. So you want to just run it down. But yeah, do you think it was him being a dumb idiot or him wanting to pad his stats more than win?
Absolutely not padding the stats. I don't think
You don't
that's
think
it
it's
at
like
all.
Madden? He's trying to get a couple of XP points, dude?
Trying to get the superstar back?
Yeah.
No. If you watch the play, I think when he almost gets tackled, like he's relatively close to the goal line. So
Yeah.
that momentum from breaking the tackle made it tough, but like he definitely could have just laid down for sure.
Yeah.
Like he could have just been tackled and not tried to break the tackle.
Yeah.
Really unfortunate.
Yeah,
And
I think that's what it is. It's just the instincts, though.
how
Like,
bad is your freaking defense that you have to be that worried about giving the other team the ball back with a minute left?
Yeah.
Like, and they have to score a touchdown, not just a field goal. And they let it up, dude. Like, it's so bad.
Yeah. That's tough.
Hopefully they'll win at least 2 more games, but Todd Gurley, you're the whoopsie of the week, buddy.
Yeah.
Whoa, are these right?
This week 7?
Yes, those are right.
Wow. All right. Anything pop out at you guys for next week?
Ravens, Steelers, dude. I'm always super pumped about the Ravens Steelers. I've always loved the hard hitting, like the toughness, the fighting, Mike Tomlin tripping people. Like it gets crazy.
Now, do we know what jerseys are being worn?
I don't.
Steelers at Ravens. The Ravens might come out in that all black, dude. They like the all black.
They definitely will.
Yeah.
Steelers might come out in the
White tops. Yep.
yellow pants, maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe all whites, dude.
I could see all white.
That'd be
But
cool.
that-
All white, all black.
Yeah. That's definitely going to be a good game. Probably game of the week.
Yeah.
I think the only other one that really jumps out with that kind of caliber is Niners Seahawks, because that's like an interdivisional thing that's always chippy. 49ers defense is playing very well despite all their injuries, and
And
Seahawks
that division
defense.
is like neck and neck. The Niners are at the bottom at 4-3.
Yeah. But so this is something that I actually think people aren't really talking about a lot. Seahawks defense is bad.
Yeah.
Oh, it's real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just traded for Carlos Dunlap.
Like,
Yeah.
for how electric the offense is, they should be fucking murdering teams.
Yeah. I mean, nobody talks about it because Russell Wilson just goes back out and is like, whoop, DK, whoop, Tyler Lockett,
Yeah.
whoop, myself.
And I hate to say it, but Bobby Wagner's old, dude. I watched the highlights of this game like earlier, and I saw him miss so many tackles that in his prime would just be like smack, fumble, maybe like pick.
And I know how much it hurts for you to say that.
And I love Bobby, dude.
That's what I'm saying. So if you're saying it, it must be true.
Yeah. And dude, he just doesn't have that X factor that he used to have when he'd get the pick sixes, dude. And he'd light people up.
The real changing of the guard.
Yeah, it's sad.
But
I feel like when Ray Lewis got old, man.
yeah. But he still won a Super Bowl. Took deer antlers, right?
Yeah.
Jake, besides those two, I know we kind of got the good ones. How fucking nuts would it be if the Jets beat the Chiefs?
There's no way. Like, there's no.
I know. I know. But so out of these
Um,
ones, anything tickling your fancy?
I think it doesn't really interest me, but Vikings Packers, always a classic match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I am interested to see Patriots Bills. That's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a fun one.
That one I think is highly underrated.
Well, because I think right now Cam has something to prove.
Is Cam starting? Cam got benched.
Who knows?
Cam starting, I think. Bill.
He has
There's
something
like
to
a
prove.
recent quote from Bill of him saying that Cam is the best player on their team. Like he's sticking behind him. Yeah.
But
I
I think he's in a position to, because right after that last game, people are pretty much like, yeah, Patriots are done. So like they all have something to prove to be like, no, we're still
Yeah.
playoffs.
I'm going to tell you right now, Belichick knows every weakness of every Bills player, and he will try to exploit them to the max. And he has made Josh Allen and Sam Darnold look silly a couple times, dude. So I'm not looking forward to facing Belichick. But at the same time, Brian Daboll, our offensive coordinator, was a former Patriot assistant, and he has gotten like a couple like exploit plays that have been crazy and like scored on the Patriots. So I trust him. I feel like this could be like a real nice game because like last year he ran John Brown on this one route like over and over again on film, and then like when we played, Stephon Gilmore tried to jump it, but it was a fake, and he went out and he just caught this wide open touchdown, burnt Gilmore for like the hardest burn I've ever seen on Gilmore.
Damn.
I always like Patriots Bills because it's all red, white, and blue.
Yeah. America's game.
It's a good theme for around election time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys ready to reveal your Thursday night pick'ems?
I am.
Everybody's newest or favorite newest segment, I should
And
say.
this is quite a spicy matchup right here.
Yeah, as you guys can see, I already popped mine in there.
Yeah. So Hunter, since it's already up, why don't you give it to us?
So it's Panthers-Falcons, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think the Falcons win at least 2 more games this season. Sadly, for Matt Ryan, I don't think it comes this week. I think there's going to be some botched game-tying kick by the Falcons, and I think this one ends Panthers 28, Falcons 27.
Okay.
I just don't think it's time yet.
I think you got part of that score right because it's at Panthers, so I'm definitely giving it to the Panthers. But I don't think the Falcons are going to score that much. I'm going to go 28-17.
28-17 Panthers.
Yes.
Interesting.
So you guys both think the Panthers are going to win?
Yeah.
I think the Falcons are going to go in there, and I think Matty Ice
He's mad.
has like some kind of rejuvenated fire in him.
The ice melted, and there's just an angry Cro-Magnon.
I watched the mic'd up earlier, dude, and he seems sharper than I've seen him in recent years. And he was really – there's all these guys crashing down on him, and he was sticking in there and just delivering the ball. And I was like, Matty Ice is back, dude. But only intermediate old Matty Ice, like not deep Matty Ice. But, I think the Falcons – I think they're going to go in there and they're going to establish themselves as not that poopy of a team and win 31-16. I think the D is going to tighten up.
16, holy shit.
Yeah. I think the D is going to tighten up, dude.
Wow.
All right. Well, there you have it. Scores are up.
I'm excited about this next segment, fellas.
Yeah, let's hop right into the fun game.
Yeah.
It's a fun one. This week's fun game is our top 3 players that were ruined by bad teams. And a further explanation on this could be not necessarily that they were ruined, but they maybe didn't live to the potential of a player they could have been or should have been, or maybe they were really good on one team, and then went to a different team, and they are being wasted a talent per se.
All right, so I'm up.
Yes, you are.
Let's see. I mean, I got a couple here. I think one of these might be on Hunter's list, so I don't want to start off with it. But, all right, I'll go. I think for my number 3, I'm going to go Andrew Luck. Because even though I think he had a good career, I think coming out of college, like, he looked sturdy. He looked fast. He was polished, accurate, big. Like, he was going to be a superstar, win a couple Super Bowls, play 15 years. But the Colts just kind of left him hanging to dry, like, no offensive line, just bad coaching. Just he's getting crushed left and right, injured. They try to slap him back in. He's still getting hurt. Like, they completely derailed his career and he retired at like 30, 31 because of it. So Andrew Luck, number 3.
All right. So I'm next.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think this is the one that Austin might have been talking about. Austin, were you referencing AR-15, now AR-12?
No, but
Oh.
same teams and same position.
Wow. Well, that's the... Huh. Interesting. I don't know who you're talking about. Same team currently or same team drafted by?
Same team drafted by.
You talking about Justin Blackmon?
Yeah.
That's not his fault. Or his fault. That's completely his fault.
Maybe they should have had an AA program, dude.
Maybe. But either way. So my number
bleep out that first name so there's still some type of ambiguity as to what you're about to say.
Oh no, I got other guys, so I'll just throw them in.
So my number 3 is Allen Robinson II, I believe he is. But Allen Robinson, I feel like, let me just, we've done this before on the show, but let me read you guys a list of the quarterbacks that Allen Robinson has played with in his football career. Christian Hackenberg at Penn State. Then he goes to the NFL, and he plays with Blake Bortles. He has played with Chase Daniel. He has played with Chad Henne.
Ooh.
He has played with Mitchell Trubisky. And he has played with Nick Foles. All of those people are bad at football. And I feel like if Allen Robinson was ever on a team that had a good quarterback, he would be like a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL.
Top 5?
Yes.
That's a little outlandish. But
Austin,
I do think
if he is top
15.
If he's top 12 to 11 every single year with shitters.
DeAndre Hopkins, from when he had shitty quarterbacks and then went to Deshaun Watson, was not that big of a gain in production. And he was top 5, and he had fucking Tommy Savage throwing him the ball. And he had over 1,000. Everyone knew he was elite. Like, he's catching every ball.
I stand by my statement.
I think when you have a shit quarterback, you can perform like Jay Cutler and Brandon Marshall. Like, not to call Jay Cutler shit, but he was kind of shit, dude.
And, dude, like, I get it. Allen Robinson's problem is not that he's not catching balls. Like, at least the balls are there for DeAndre Hopkins to catch.
Yeah.
Like, Mitchell Trubisky and Blake Bortles are 2 people known to get memed for throwing their wide receivers like 5 yards too far.
Hunter, I agree. I think he would definitely be reaching his full potential with a different quarterback. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I just think dude's good, but
I just don't think he's top 5. But I do agree.
Well, we'll never know.
We'll never know. Maybe next
Probably
year.
not, because anytime, like, when he leaves the Bears, he'll probably be like 28 or something.
Oh, I think he's already 28 right now, isn't he? Oh, man. We'll find out. Allen Robinson. He is 27.
Okay.
So, yeah, he might not. I feel like he's the type of guy who's not going to age like a fine wine.
Me neither.
I feel like he will get crusty real fast. But, yeah, no, I agree. That's a good one.
All right.
Jacob,
So my number 3, and if it weren't for the events of this current season, I don't think he would make my list. But my number 3, I'm putting Saquon Barkley. And the reason why is because I think that the Giants rely on him so much that if he wasn't like the only source of true success, he wouldn't have gotten injured this season. And I have a feeling that this season's injury is gonna be something that he doesn't fully get over, and it becomes a player that this injury changed his game.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely a good one because I do feel like they didn't put anyone around him, like offensive line wise. Like, they signed Nate Solder to a huge deal, but he sucks. Like,
They got Will Hernandez and the one guy we were talking about who sucks.
I don't think
Andrew
Hernandez
Thomas.
is even really all that good. Like, to be honest with you,
No,
and
I don't either, but I'm just saying they have him.
when I see Saquon get the ball, it's like Barry Sanders, like 5 people in front of him. He's trying to make a huge play. So yeah, I do feel like he's not getting the best look there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, that's my number 3.
Is it all the way back around to me?
I think it is.
All right, so for my number 2, I'm going to go with
Number 2.
RG Trey Sticks, RG3. I feel like, oh man, the Redskins gave up the house for him and just kind of, they're already a bad team. They gave up all the picks, so once they got him, they couldn't even really build around him. And they were just like trying to run all these crazy plays with him, and their line wasn't that good, and he was getting crushed. And then he got injured, like catastrophic leg injuries that changed his game. He lost all his speed and his confidence, and I feel like he had real potential. Like maybe not like Hall of Fame, but he would be doing like kind of what Kyler Murray's doing right now. Maybe not as good, but like he would be pretty solid top tier quarterback. His rookie season was really good. I'm pretty sure. Then he went.
Rookie of the year.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I
he
feel
had
like
a lot of hype coming out of college too. Like everyone was really
yeah.
excited to see him play. But he almost made my list as well.
Jake, you were a big RG3 fan.
I definitely was. I drew a picture of RG3 with his broken legs.
You
I think
got
it's-
upset when people called me HV Uno.
Yeah, probably. I got upset over a lot of stuff in high school.
I once drove down Robert Griffin III Street in Texas.
Oh wow, that's an odd street.
It's like it's in the middle of nowhere pretty much. There's not much going on there. It's by his high school.
Oh, okay, cool. I was wondering. I'm like, huh, that's odd. But Hunter, you're up.
All right. Well, as you guys can see from what I just typed, my number 2 person who never reached their full potential because of the team they were on is Calvin Johnson Jr. I think now this is kind of a crazy one, and I debated not even putting him on the list because by no means is Calvin Johnson a bad player. Like every year he played, he was probably the leading receiver, and he's, probably a first ballot Hall of Famer, I would assume.
Oh, absolutely.
So kind of crazy to put him on the list, but in a similar vein to like Barry Sanders, when you have a guy like that, or like a Larry Fitzgerald, who I don't think talent-wise or anything was close to Calvin Johnson, but when you have a guy like that who is kind of inarguably the best player at his position for like a period of 4 years, and
I would say 10 years. Like he was from the time he was a rookie till he retired.
But I think there are only like 4 years where he's like elite top guy, like just stats wise. I don't disagree with you, but just the fact that that dude never saw a Super Bowl, like not even didn't win one, never saw a Super Bowl.
I'm not sure even the playoffs.
That's what I'm getting to. I don't know how many playoff games he ever played in, let alone one. Are you looking it up, Austin?
I mean, I'm on
I'll
the
look it up.
media right now.
Let's see here.
He even took 3rd place in Dancing with the Stars.
Like come on. That's pretty good.
Do top 3 Dancing with the Stars moments after this.
Apparently, he smokes a lot of weed nowadays, and he has a partnership with Harvard University to study CTE.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Don't the Lions still owe him like a lot of money too?
Oh yeah, they're not paying him. They're doing him dirty.
Yeah.
Well,
So
technically,
that
they
sucks.
don't have to pay him because he retired. Like so they don't. I'm pretty sure they don't really owe him that money, but it's like customary. You just give the guy the money. He's like the face of your franchise. Everyone else sucks. He's given his whole career to you, and you haven't done shit with him. Give him a couple $1,000,000. Not that big of a deal.
So it looks like he did go to the playoffs, and in that game, he had 12 receptions for 211 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Who was that against? The Cowboys?
The Eagles.
The Eagles.
Yeah.
Wow. So
I
he
wanna
showed up
watch
to
these
play.
highlights so bad. But yeah, that's my 2. I just think it's a disservice to a talent like that, who I think, in my opinion, obviously, like, I wasn't around when, like, Jerry Rice was playing. I wasn't a huge football fan when Randy Moss was doing his thing. But in my opinion, I think Calvin Johnson is the best wide receiver of all time. So for him to never win or I don't know if he never won a playoff game, but to never see a Super Bowl, he's my number 2.
Yeah. I'm looking at his stats right now. His second season, he had 1,300 yards, 1,331, 12 touchdowns, led the league in his second season. In his best season, he had 1,964 yards. That's almost 2,000 fucking yards, dude, for one guy.
Now, my number 2 is also Calvin Johnson for that exact reason.
Oh, my God.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, just, again, the fact that you could definitely put him in the top 5 best receivers of all time and just no nothing. Not even a championship game, not even playing in the championship game, nothing like that.
I think you can say top 3, no issue whatsoever.
And yeah, I mean, if he ended up like on the Seahawks or the Patriots or fucking literally anybody besides the Lions, like,
yeah, could you imagine if Calvin Johnson was a Steeler?
Yeah, or if he was on the Saints or like,
yeah,
he'd be putting up 3,000 yards a season.
Yeah, like, it's sad. But yeah, so Calvin Johnson is also my number 2.
So for my number 1, I picked a guy who he was a superstar in college. He was running all over the place. He was a stud. He was hanging out with Kim Kardashian in a prime. He won the Heisman. Reggie Bush. He gets drafted to the Saints. Everyone thinks he's going to light it up, be electric with their offense. But they just they never really kind of used him right. And they kind of rotated him in with different running backs. And I feel like they never really got Reggie Bush going. And then by the time they got rid of him, he's always been a role player. Like him and Pierre Thomas would split carries constantly. And Pierre Thomas was a better pass catcher. So by the time he got let go and went to the Dolphins, he was already kind of older. But his first year with the Dolphins, he had 1,000-yard season, and he had pretty good receiving numbers. I thought he was going to be good. And then he kind of just went downhill from there. But yeah, I feel like if he went to the right team, he might have had a way better career.
Yeah, absolutely. Although I do think that's part of the Kim K curse. Ray J, Raycons, I don't think are selling really well. And what's the basketball player? Chris Humphries, also not good at basketball. So
what happened to that Bruce Jenner guy?
Well, that's her stepdad. So.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Still same household though.
Yeah. But all right. So Jake, who's your numero uno?
So my numero uno, and he's my numero uno because I think we're watching the slow, unfair fall off of this player
Is
right
it
now.
Deshaun Watson?
No. I think somebody who is ruining a chance to move themselves up in the all-time leaderboards is Julio Jones. I think him on the Falcons right now is ruining his chance to just move himself up. Because, like, he's, going to be indebatable. But people say top 10, people say top 5. I think these are the seasons that he could be establishing himself. Like, no, I'm definitely top 10. I'm definitely top 5. But he just doesn't – I just feel like he's non-existent in a lot of people's eyes because the Falcons are not doing good by any fucking means at all. And if he was on any good team with a good quarterback and a solid passing game, he would be a fucking vicious weapon, which I don't think he is right now.
He definitely is. I kind of disagree with it just because, like, Julio at least has had the opportunity to win a Super Bowl. And in that Super Bowl, like, he almost single-handedly won it for them. And if you ask anybody, like, today, who's the best wide receiver in the NFL, Julio's still going to come up in the conversation. It's not like he's being underused on the Falcons.
I'm saying of all time.
I will say they have pretty much wasted his career with, like, really bad teams, besides the Super Bowl team, which was completely blown. But Julio Jones is definitely, for how unsuccessful he's been as far as, like, championships, he definitely has the most respect out of any receiver in the league. Like, I think if you ask any cornerback who's the hardest guy to guard, they probably all say Julio.
Yeah, I just feel like he if he was on a better team, it would just be better all around for him. I mean, clearly that's for any player, but I just think especially for him. He's getting kind of done dirty right now.
No, I see what you're saying. It is a similar, like, Calvin Johnson situation.
Yeah, but we're watching it happen right now, so it's like, that sucks.
Yeah.
Poor feller.
Yeah, but at least he's still playing.
Yeah. Could be a lot worse, dude.
Yeah, definitely.
Does that leave me?
Yeah.
All right, so my number 1 was already discussed.
Sorry.
But if we are talking about players where their team ruined them, I do think that the only number 1 in this scenario is Robert Griffin III.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Blaine Gabbert.
No, I said we've already talked about him. But so Robert Griffin III wins Rookie of the Year. Was he injured in his first season or his second season, like the bad one?
I think it was.
I think his first season he got injured with one leg, and the second season it happened to the other leg.
Well, so here's what happened. I'm pretty sure he got injured. I believe they were in the playoffs. Like, Robert Griffin III led the Washington football team, the Redskins at the time, led them to the playoffs, which I'm pretty sure they hadn't seen the playoffs in a long time. Robert Griffin III gets injured. He's out for like a week or something. And then I'm pretty sure because Mike Shanahan wants to win a playoff game, he's like, RG3, you're going back in. And everybody's like, what? That dude he's a mobile quarterback who just suffered like a crazy leg injury. He's definitely not ready. And Mike's like, oh, you're going in there, buddy. We need you. Yeah. And he goes in, injures the other leg or injures the other one more severely. And like Austin said, a mobile dude gets an injury like that, it's never going to come back the same. So if Mike Shanahan can say like, okay, maybe this isn't our year, we're not going to risk RG3. Like next year they could have won the Super Bowl, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I definitely think RG3 is like the biggest waste of any football player for sure.
So he, in week 14 against the Ravens, Haloti Ngata hit him in his right knee, and it twisted his MCL and his ACL, like sprained them. So Dr. James Andrews didn't clear him to return for the postseason, but basically that's what happened. They threw him back in with a doctor, the most esteemed doctor, saying don't throw him back in.
Yeah.
And he goes on and has a catastrophic injury.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible.
Didn't he just snap the ball and was going to hand it off and his leg just lost it?
Well, I mean, from the picture you have in there, it looks like it was a fumble and he was going for it and he tripped weird.
Yeah, something of that nature.
But, yeah, I just think that sucks because that one, among all the other ones are like the team around the person was bad. RG3 was single-handedly like kind of a transcendent talent at the time, doing crazy stuff, leading his team to the playoffs, leading his team to glory, and then because of a coaching decision goes in and his career is literally ruined because Mike Shanahan couldn't say, okay, it's not our year this year, but we want you for next year.
Oh man, and their backup was Kirk Cousins too, so
Yeah.
they could have maybe even like. I mean, that's how Kirk got his start when Robert went down.
Yeah,
But I'm watching it. He takes the snap, in it, or he calls for the snap. The ball is way low, like the shit snap of a lifetime, dude. Robert like scrambles back to get it, and just his leg goes out, and he just stumbles to the ground. Everyone's like, "Get a doctor! Get a doctor!" Like, oh man,
dude, no quarterback. Just looking at the picture, I'm not a medical professional, but if I see that leg brace on a mobile dude, I'm gonna be like, "No, dude, are you kidding me?"
Yeah, there's clearly like a fucking like compression dial on there to like keep the tightness.
Well, what's crazy to me is I didn't know that Dr. James Andrews had not cleared him to return.
I didn't know that either.
James Andrews is the guy who does he did Bo Jackson surgery. He does AP surgery, the like most successful surgery ever. Like he's the guy. He's operated on everyone. Michael Jordan probably got operated on by him. Like he did everybody.
I don't see how that's not like illegal in the NFL to play somebody who has not been cleared by a doctor.
I mean, you don't have to play. Like you could say no if you wanted to, but you have all that pressure because you might lose your job.
You know, but I mean, like from the organization, like I figured the organization would be fined essentially, because like, because that's a tough position to put somebody in. Be like, hey, you need to play, or tell me you don't want to play because you're like that's such a fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
Jake, you got to also understand this is the team that was making sexy time cheerleader videos for the owner and telling people with cancerous growths on their head that it was cool and they didn't need to do anything about it.
Yeah. It's a toxic organization, dude, from the top down.
And they were the Redskins at the time. So, I mean,
extra bad.
Yeah.
But speaking of extra bad, I think that's something that this show wasn't. I think it was something closer to the opposite. And if you liked it as much as I did, you can find us on Instagram at Bro Football Focus. You can find us on Twitter at Bro Football Focus with 1L. And you can find us on YouTube where you found us. See you next time. Episode 27.
The Leonard Fournette episode?
Not anymore.
The Ray Rice episode?
The Kareem.
Oh God. We'll find out. We'll fit Ronald Jones?
Sidney Jones?
LeGarrette Blount.
Yeah, Ronald Jones. The Ronald Jones episode. See you later.
For God's sake.